Hey, fam. Hey, happy Monday. It's your girl, Michelle Franklin, honey. Miss Michelle Allen Franklin, Miss DI, Miss Community Builder, honey. All those things, mother. Look, mother, daughter, sister, Gigi, honey. All of the things, yes. Advocate, educator, communicator, honey. Yeah, it's your girl. How you doing? I ain't like y'all know me up in these streets. Where you been? What you doing? Yes. It is your girl, honey, Michelle D.I., Miss Divine Intervention herself, honey. Why? Because I don't believe in coincidences. Only God's divine intervention in our lives, honey. Community builder, yes, because that's who I am to the core of me. I took a test, yes. Not a influencer, not just an impact, honey. I'm all of the things. That means I encompass all of the things, honey. And I love to bring you the information that you need. Yeah, to help you be the best version of you, honey. That's what your girl is doing. That's who I am to the core of me. When I hear good stuff, I'm like, oh, I need to share this good information, honey. Why? Because I want you to win. Yeah, I'm not stingy. hmm Yeah, I'm not that stingy type of person. I'm trying to give you the information that you need to get you through the day. How you doing today? Happy Monday. It is Reflections Choosing Me Guilt Free. Y'all, we are on day 22 of Faith Walk. What is faith? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Why? Because my nephew passed away last month, and there was an air of hopelessness that I realized driving back from that. And I said, Lord, what can I do? What can I do out here? How can I help? I can't bring my nephew back. But one thing I know for sure, any and every situation, honey, I'm going to find a way to Romans 8 and 28 that thing. What does that mean? The good and the bad and the crazy, it's all working together. So I can't bring my nephew back, but Lord, what can I do? I can sit up and I can give something to people every day for the month of May to give them some hope in a hopeless situation if their finances are having some struggles. You're feeling hopeless in your finances. If you're feeling hopeless in some relationships, in some situationships, in some unforgiveness, your girl is here. Honey, I've been here for the whole month. Wait, where you been? I've been here the whole month. It's day 22. Don't worry about it. It's on the YouTube channel. Scroll down the Facebook page. It's all there. We've been recording every day. This is day 22. We are continuing our journey. Today is the last day that we're going to be talking about our finances. Because I don't know about y'all, but when my finances ain't right, honey, it affects my spirit. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. We're talking all things that affect our spirit, that make us feel a little down. That, again, depression, anxiety, panic attacks, PTSD. Your girl know all about them. So what are we doing? We're talking solutions, honey. So all month we've been reading Mr. Robert Kiyosaki's. You see that? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We've been talking about the 6 lessons, honey, to help us get to shifting our mental. My thing is that this month there has been so much. They say the middle class, we're just the pawns in everybody's. We're just pawns, right? We're doing things that we were raised to do. Some of the stuff, some of the games that these rich people play, we didn't even know it was a game being played. I want to play the game too. Yeah. So your girl is giving you the tools, honey, to get your finances right. We done talked to a creditor this month. We have learned the 5 lessons. Now we're going into lesson 6. I'm going to jump right into it because your girl ain't got that much time today. So we got to get right into it. We're going into lesson 6, honey. It is work to learn, don't work for money. Honey, wait a minute. Before I jump into it, you got to go back and see. Lesson 1 was the rich don't work for money. I was like, what they do? Chapter 2 was why teach financial literacy, honey. Again, we don't even know the rules to the game. An asset is anything that has given you money, anything bringing money in. A liability is anything that is taking money away. The way that the rich look at it is way different from what we look at it. Yeah, we got to know these rules. Number three, mind your own business. Honey, what business can you develop? Not just a business like, where you are working. What is something that you can do, that you can create, that you can start that will give you some passive income? Passive means while I'm sleeping, I'm making money. I can go on vacation with my family. I'm still making money. I don't got to clock in and do a 9 to 5. Honey, nobody's telling you to quit your 9 to 5. Pay attention. Right? If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But we're talking about building generational wealth. How long are you going to go to that job, work 40 years, and then what? If you get sick and kill over, what do you think they're going to do? While you wait to work your 40 years of work to get to retirement to then have some fun and enjoy life. I don't know about you, but my little Social Security thinks that I got to work till I'm 72. Who? I ain't doing that. Okay, lesson 4. I need to know these rules because your girl can't do it. Lesson 4 was the history of taxes and the power of corporations. Y'all, that chapter 4 was amazing. The most thing that I learned about that is he said corporations. What do you think of when you think of a corporation? Yeah, you think of big business, right? Pepsi, McDonald's, Apple, all these big places. You know what he said? He said a corporation, it's a piece of paper. It's a legal document. One person can be a corporation. Yeah, that's what he said. One person can be a corporation. What does that mean, honey? That means that you can start a business. And I know you got your LLC because that's how we think, right? Everybody got to get the LLC. But this is a step up. I'm thinking a big corporation. There's no way I can do it. He said corporations, yeah, you can start one right on your own. Then you can start thinking differently, planning those business trips, planning those dinners, your car, your internet, everything. Think outside the box, guys. Think outside the box. This is what we're doing. Chapter 5 was the rich invent money. Is that right? Again, the rich invent money. Let me go back and watch it. Lesson 6 is work to learn, don't work for money. So we're going in. I'm not reading the chapter today. I'm going right into the summary because, again, this is our last day on finances, and I have a meeting in a little bit. So I still wanted to review chapter 6. So we're going to go over the summary. The summary says Robert was interviewed a few years ago in Singapore by a journalist who, over the course of their conversation, revealed that she wanted to become a best-selling author like him. But her novels, which everyone said were excellent, never went anywhere. Robert suggested that she take a course in sales training. That offended the reporter, who said she had a master's in English literature and didn't see how learning to sell would help her. In fact, she hated salespeople. When Robert pointed out that he's a best-selling author, not a best writing author, she replied she would never stoop so low as to learn to sell and left the interview. There are talented people all around us who struggle financially. I feel like some just hit me in my belly. Okay. I'm going to read that again. He said there are talented people all around us who struggle financially. Baby, let me just put a penny in this. I can't remember what I was watching, but I can't remember what I was watching. But somebody said, around the way in the hood playing basketball, it's 1,000 Michael Jordans, it's 1,000 Kobe's, it's 1,000. We know 1,000 talented people, don't we? We know a whole lot of people from around the way that's gifted. And what's happening? They're stuck in their situation. Why? Because they're so busy thinking that they know everything. That's number one. You're not teachable. You got to be coachable. Everybody on this side of heaven, honey, every day I learn something. As much as I know, every day I'm striving to learn more. I will never know it all. What I know, I share. What I don't know, I'm grasping. I'm fiending for. I want it. I want to know. So you know what? I can share that too. But if you're sitting around here thinking that you know everything, maybe you're shooting yourself in the foot. So let me say that again. I said there are talented people all around us who struggle financially, just like that reporter. In the words of one business consultant, they are one skill away from greatness. What that means is that too many of us specialize. If we will learn and master just one skill, our income will jump exponentially. When it comes to money, the only skill people know is to work hard. Yo, we live. They out there doing something. I don't know what it is. They're doing something out there. What that means is that too many of us specialize. If we will learn and master just one skill, our income will jump exponentially. 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 When it comes to money, the only skill most people know is to work hard. Okay. If that reporter took some courses in ad copywriting as well as sales, then got a good job at an advertising agency, she would learn how to get millions in free publicity, a skill she could put to use, turning her next novel into a bestseller. When Robert came out with his first book, If You Want to Be Rich and Happy, Don't Go to School, a publisher suggested he change the title to The Economics of Education. But Robert knew that the title wouldn't sell. Even though he is pro-education, he chose a title that was controversial because he knew it would get him on more TV and radio shows. And it worked. When he graduated from the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy in 1969, he was hired as a third mate on a Standard Oil tanker fleet. The pay was okay, but it came with 5 months of vacation a year. It couldn't have been a good career. It couldn't have been a good career, but after 6 months, Robert quit to join the Marine Corps and learned how to fly. Rather than specializing as so many do, including Poor Dad, Robert sought out new skills. Robert did encourage that, telling him to learn a lot about a lot. Telling him to learn a little about a lot. That's why Robert and his friend Mike had worked so many jobs growing up to gain a variety of experiences. Poor Dad didn't understand the decision to leave the Standard Oil job. He thought Robert had gone to school to become a ship's officer. But what Rich Dad knew was that Robert went to school to learn about international trade. And he joined the Marine Corps to learn how to lead troops. That leadership skill would serve him well in whatever business laid ahead. In 1973, Robert resigned his commission and took a job at Xerox in sales, even though he was a shy person. In fact, it was because he was a shy person that he took the job. Do you see this thinking outside the box? First off, you don't belong in the box, boo. How can you do things differently? What else can you do? What job can you take to learn this skill to get you to the next level? That's a plan. Thinking of a master plan. Ain't nothing but sweat inside my... Baby, what plan? I'm asking you, what plan do you have, honey? Do you have a plan? Can you start thinking of a plan? Can you start thinking outside the box? Can you think of what skills and tools do you have? What job have you done up until this point? How can it help you get to your next level? Romans 8:28, honey, everything is working together. You got to put that thing together, think outside the box, honey. Yeah, I've been saying it every day. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. If you want something different, babe, you got to do something different. Think outside the box. He says Xerox had one of the best training programs in the country. And there, Robert overcame his fear of knocking on doors and being rejected. When he became one of the consistently highest producing salespeople there, he left. Robert launched his first company in 1977, selling wallets manufactured in the Far East and shipped to a New York warehouse. It was time to test his wings. Today, he still does business internationally. Most people work hard to get a secure job, focus on the pay and benefits in the short term. What they should do is seek work that will teach them the skills they'll need. Are people looking to where they're headed or just until their next paycheck? In his book, The Retired Myth, Craig S. Carpel writes of many challenges awaiting most people in retirement and the frightening picture of what most people's reality will be. Robert recommended a long view. Instead of simply working for money and security, take a second job to learn a second skill. Many will resist this because they aren't ready for change. But it's like going to the gym. You might have to talk yourself into starting, but you'll be glad you did when the workout is over. If you are unwilling to work to learn something new and instead insist on becoming highly specialized within your field, make sure the company you work for is unionized. Your specialized skills may be useless outside your field otherwise. Robert asked his students how many of them can make a better hamburger than McDonald's. Most raised their hand. But the reason McDonald's is making millions and they aren't is because McDonald's is excellent at business systems. The world is full of talented poor people. They must take the time to learn more skills, like McDonald's business systems, to succeed. Poor Dad wanted Robert to become specialized, even though that didn't work out well for his own life. He never understood the more specialized you become, the more you are trapped and dependent on that specialty. Rich Dad, on the other hand, encouraged Mike and Robert to groom themselves and learn a lot of different areas of business. For the World War II generation, it was considered bad to skip company from company to company. Today, it is considered smart. It enables you to learn more and will pay dividends in the long run. And what's so crazy about that? And I don't even know with this concept how it even started. But have you ever been working a job, been there for umpteen years? They have some new younger people come in. You train the younger people, they end up making more money than you, or they end up getting a better position than you. What again? Why? But then you leave the company, right? You can't get a raise. Only raise you get is that raise that comes, your little 25 cent, your 10, 15, 25 cent that comes every once a year, right? So you just inching your way up, inching your way up, inching your way up. If you leave the company and come back, One, if you leave the company, you're going to get paid more than what you are getting paid at your company, right? But if you leave the company and come back, 9 times out of 10, you're going to make more money. They're going to readjust and tally. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I've heard so many stories. It's crazy. So many stories. They can't give you the raise and pay you what they want. Or if you get ready to leave a job and they want to keep you, then all of a sudden they can increase your pay and pay you what you're worth or what you feel like you're worth at that time, right? Craziness, the foolishness. Anyway, this says the main management skills needed for success are: one, management of cash flow; two, management of systems; and three, management of people. And the most important socialized skills are sales and marketing. Communication skills such as writing, speaking, negotiating are crucial to a life of success. There are skills Robert works on constantly, attending courses or buying educational resources to expand his knowledge. The skills of selling and marketing are difficult for most people, primarily due to their fear of rejection. The better you are at communicating, negotiating, and handling your fear of rejection, the easier life is. Being technically specialized has its strengths and weaknesses. People in this category must expand their communication skills. We all must learn to be good teachers as well as good students. To be truly rich, we must be able to give as well as receive. I completely agree wholeheartedly. Teaching was one of the ways both Rich Dad and Poor Dad gave to others. But Rich Dad also gave money to his church, to charities, and to his foundation. He knew that to receive money, he also had to give it. Poor Dad always said he'd give money if he had extra, but he never had that extra. Rather than give and you shall receive, he believed in receive and then you give. Robert became both dads, both a hardcore capitalist who loves the game of making money and a socially responsible teacher who is deeply concerned with this ever widening gap between the haves and the have nots. He holds the archaic educational system primarily responsible for this growing gap. Left hemisphere moment. It may not take, this is the left brain people, people that are very tangible. They need, numbers. They need that thing. It may not make immediate mathematical sense to leave a promising job for another, but the skills you will gain will lead to greater numbers in the long run. My right hemisphere moment is these are for people that are the creatives of the world. Learning skills outside what you think of as your profession will benefit you. And this is a subconscious moment for all those deep down living in fear type people, most of us. The situation you fear most is a skill that you need to learn and conquer. Oh, let me read that again. The situation that you fear most, that means that thing that you've been thinking about, that you are intimidated by, and she's like, I don't know. I don't know nothing about that. As I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me. As I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to me. Y'all, I've been putting my podcast out. I had a virtual assistant. She was doing this and doing that. And I'm like, man, it's so overwhelming. I don't want to learn this. I don't have the time. Guess what? I have to take the time. Even if I hire another virtual assistant eventually, right? Even when you think about accounting and all of these things, why did MC Hammer have all of that money and then lose it? Because he was trusting somebody to do his accounting. He was looking at the papers, but he wasn't looking at the papers, right? How many things do you have that you can look at and you glazing over? You don't know all the stuff in depth. You don't have to know every little detail, but you should know enough to know this isn't right. If somebody is telling me to go left, and I'm supposed to go right. Oh no, left is good. And I can look at this paper and say, no, but it says right here in the fine print. Are you reading the fine print? Are you taking the time? Or are you just taking somebody's word? Baby, that tell you, when I get my insurance, I had this one lady say to me, she said, I have never had anybody sit down and read every page of the insurance. Yeah, I'm going to read everything. I want to make sure that I know and understand. I forgot to turn my thing off. I want to make sure I know and understand all of the things that it entails, right? You know what I realized doing that? Before I was like, oh my God, anybody got time to read this? I'm just going to go through. Ma'am, what does it say? Oh, it says this. Well, guess what I realized? When they tell you that you have to pay $1,000, that having $1,000 deductible is going to make your insurance payment cheaper. Is that true? Yeah, it's true. But guess what? If you ask for a $250 deductible, it's only a couple dollars more, honey. Not even $20 more. It's like $10 more. $10, $15 the most is what I paid from having something happen and having to figure out how I'm gonna come up with $1,000 versus having something happen and me figuring out how to come up with $250. Why? Because we're not reading the fine print. Because we're allowing people to do this work for us and we're not reading and we don't understand and we don't know and we're taking somebody else's word. Stop doing that. Who am I talking to? Somebody out there, because it's all in my spirit, honey. Why are you doing that? Take the time. Read your contracts. Stop taking everybody's word. Take a minute. Don't let anybody rush you through. Take a minute and read it. Give me some time. Don't pressure me. You want me to sign this? I am the customer, right? They want your money. They want your business. The situation you fear the most is the skill that you need to learn and conquer. So I'm talking to you. I'm talking to me. I need to get my butt in here and learn about these podcasts. I'm paying for them. I don't know how to use them. I bought them for my VA to use them. She used them very well, very quick. And if I learn them, it will be such an asset for me. Am I going to do this for the rest of my life? I'm not. Will I eventually pay somebody? I will. But if something happened to that VA or anybody else, guess what I can do? I can jump on and I can do it myself. Business won't halt like it did back in March. Somebody need that. I don't know who need it. It says, and you may have to force yourself to do it, though, like going to the gym, you'll be glad you did. Let me say that again. The situation you fear most is a skill that you need to learn and conquer. And you may have to force yourself to do it, though, like going to the gym, you'll be glad you did it. What was Robert saying? Now it's time to reflect. Ask yourself, what is Robert saying in this quote and why does he say that? In this section, you do not need to agree or disagree with Robert. The goal is to understand. Get outside the box, boo. Get outside. The goal is to understand. You don't have to like and do all these principles. You don't have to like and do everything in all of the lessons, right? Everything doesn't apply to me, but there's some things that do. And then it is at least, okay, I can recognize the game now. At least, okay, I know the game that's being played, right? I recognize the game. We don't even know this game that's being played. We don't even know it's a game being played because we don't even know. We don't recognize nothing. It's over above our heads. So the goal is to understand what Robert is saying. Remember, the curriculum is designed to be cooperative and supportive. Two minds are better than one. If you do not understand what Robert is saying, do not shy away from it. Ask for help and understanding. That's in everything, honey. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Be like, oh, that's a stupid question. I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for 22 years. I tell my nurses all the time. For me, nobody is stupid in this world, but it's just not a smart thing to do to have a question and not ask it, to be embarrassed. and then make a mistake. It's way more important. It's a smart thing to do to ask so that you know, honey, right? So that you know moving forward. How you going to get better if you don't ask the question and know? You just going to assume? hmm Break that spelling down. Ass out of you and me. Don't do it. Don't make an ass out of you and me. Stop assuming. Just ask, honey. Ask somebody to know or research that thing. Two minds are better than one. If you do not understand what Robert is saying, do not shy away from it. Ask for help in understanding. Take the time, discuss each quote until you understand it. Number one, job security meant everything to my educated dad. Learning meant everything to my rich dad. So for me, job security is, having that 9 to 5, which I'm not saying don't, having that 9 to 5 and having that 40-year plan. In my 20s, I really thought I was going to just die a floor nurse. You couldn't tell me different. But burnout happened, right? That thing is real. Nurse burnout happened. In this last job that I was in for 8 years, the work environment became too toxic for me. It was messing with my mental health. Guess what? I gotta go. So it is, but all of the skills and things that I have are with me. They're not at that job. I don't have a reason to feel like I gotta stay stuck somewhere where it is messing with my mental health. Because what? Like I'm not gonna ever find another job, or I can't do anything different. Oh, I can't get together and get the programs and things that God has given me and come up with my own business. Learning meant everything. What have you learned in all these years? Because I'm telling you everything back to being a waitress at my first job, customer service I use today. I was 12 years old, my first job. Am I lying? I feel like I was 10. I felt 10 come on my spirit. I was 10 or 12. I can't remember at this exact moment. Learning meant everything to me. What are you learning? Instead of being on autopilot, going to a job, clocking in every day. Okay. I am constantly shocked at how little talented people earn. I am constantly shocked at how little talented people earn. How undervalued are you? I took a $10 pay cut when I came to Texas. 8 years ago? I've been here 8 years now. Do you know how much knowledge is in this mind of mine? It was okay for a period of time, but guess what? It's not now. It makes me sick to my stomach. It's not now. Constantly shocked at how little talented people. Are you being valued? Are you being given what you're worth? Is it time to do something different, honey? I'm just saying, because it was messing with my mental health. The toxicity and knowing that I wasn't getting paid what I was worth. What? And you don't see me? What? Do you know how much? Do you know what I do? Do you know who I am? Do you know who you are? Do you know what you bring to the table? This is not arrogance, nor is it cocky. And that's what we're taught. It's this thing about, I can't be proud of who I am. I can't acknowledge that I'm an intelligent person. I can't acknowledge who I am. That's that Jim Crow, those thoughts, those slavery thoughts, that mentality, that unworthiness, or that I gotta be humble. I am humble. I'm not conceited at all, but I know my worth. I know what I bring to the table. Do you know what you're worth? Do you know what you bring to the table? There's an old cliche that goes, job is an acronym for just over broke. Unfortunately, that applies to millions of people. How many people are living paycheck to paycheck? The statistics say over 60 some percent of people. It's crazy. Google it. Over 60 some people just over broke, living paycheck to paycheck. The next one said, I recommend to young people to seek work for what they will learn more than what they will earn. I recommend to young people to seek work for what they will learn more than what they will earn. I shared this story before when I was in nursing school. There's a factory here. It's called Train. My aunt called me. She was like, girl, they're hiring a train. They're hiring $10 an hour. At that time, I was only making $6 but I was an aide and I'm in nursing school. So guess what? What I'm learning every day as an aide, the work that I'm doing there, how I'm pouring, what the environment that I'm in other nurses. I'm loving my job. I love my job, making $6 an hour. You want me to go over here to a factory job? Yeah, I'm going to be making more. But what I'm learning here is for the long term. We're so fixated on the short term fix instead of a long term goal. What do you need for the long term? You might suffer a little bit in the beginning, but in the long term, you got a lifetime. You got a lifetime. Life is much like the gym, going to the gym. I thought I turned my phone off. Life is much like the gym, but we are alive, y'all. Life is much like the gym. The most painful part is deciding to go. The most painful part is deciding to go. Once you get past that, it's easy. It is. That is anytime. Think about anytime you want to do something. You know that you should, right? Painful. The world is filled with talented, poor people. All too often, they're poor or struggling financially or earn less than they are capable of, not because of what they know, but because of what they do not know. Again, you got to know the rules. You got to know that there's a game being played. And then play the game, honey. Play the game. We like to play games too. We want to play games too. Why I want to stay in the middle class rat race? No, I want to get to the next level too. I got things that I need to do. I have people that I need to help. I can't help on this level. I can't do the things that I want to do with my community, with my families, and build families. I need money for that. So I got to learn the rules. Yeah. Think outside the box, boo. What do you want to do? What do you need to learn? Being technically specialized has its strengths as well as its weaknesses. Of course, everybody needs a trade, right? But it is, get that trade and then what? Then what? Don't get complacent, honey. Don't get some complacent. There's so much more in you. What other gift do you have? What gift? Because this is the other thing that I know, when you walking in purpose, you walking in gift, you walking in something that you're passionate about, guess what? It's not work. And when you're doing something like that, it says, what is that? You're doing something that you're passionate about. What is it going to do? It's going to make you happy. It's going to bring you joy. It's going to fill your cup, which does what? Decrease cortisol levels. Honey, it got to do with your mental health. What is it? Yes, decreases cortisol levels. What does that have to do with anything? Cortisol level is the number one hormone, honey, that causes stress. It is the number one cancer causing hormone. It is the number one thing that kills us silently. Causes heart disease, high blood pressure, heart attack, stroke, all of those contributing in together. Yeah, heart disease, that's all together. Diabetes, cancers. Yeah, killing yourself slowly. Going to work every day, stressing every day, every day, every day for 40 years. So then you get to retirement and you can't even enjoy your retirement. Last one is giving money is the secret to most great wealthy families. Giving money is the secret to most great wealthy families. I'm never more happier than when I'm giving. Never more happier than when I'm giving. Real quick, because I got to go to a meeting, y'all. Now it's time to take the stories of this chapter along with the understanding of what Robert was saying and apply them to you and your life. Ask yourself the questions below and discuss them with your study partner. Be honest with yourself and your partner. If you do not like some of the answers you are giving, ask yourself if you are willing to change and accept the challenge to change your thoughts and mindset. Number one, do you know extremely talented people who make very little money? What could they be doing differently? I'm asking you, what could you be doing differently? Because 9 times out of 10, it's you, ain't it? When I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me. Number two, have how have you sought additional skills beyond your specialty? What was the result? I'm going to tell you this. Since 2019, when I just looked at myself in the mirror and I was so disgusted with myself, I didn't recognize who I was. I was very complacent with my life. I know that God has given me skills and given me different things. So what have I done? I have developed programs. I took a minute, I took a few years and got myself together. And now I'm coming back grabbing other people. I've developed programs from every program that I've been in. The 7 to 8 programs that I've been in, I've encompassed them all in one. It's not going to take you 2 or 3 years to go to each one. No, I got a little bit of all of them, all in one, honey. Thinking outside the box. How can I reach back and help people? Yes. What was the result? It asked. The result has been amazing because I know that my products work. I know that my programs work. When people do them, they work. Just like anything, when you use it, it works. How do I know? Because it worked for me. Yeah. What is in the pit of your belly, honey? Reflection, choosing me guilt-free. That is, I have a podcast, educating and teaching, but then I have a 7-day program. I have a 10-week program. I have a 12-week program. Why? Because people are suffering in silence. I suffered in silence for 2 years, struggling with depression. I didn't even know I was depressed. The depression scale, it says anything above 15 is severe depression. I was at a 22, going to work every day, smiling, laughing, going, doing, being, pouring, giving to everybody else, and my cup was empty. Not only was it empty, it was dry, bone dry. The statistics say 1 in 5 of people are struggling with some mental health something. 1 out of 5. It's 8 billion people in the world. That's a lot of people struggling. A lot of people suffering in silence. There are myths out there that you can't be a Christian and have depression, anxiety, panic attacks. You can't, African Americans don't go to therapy. Oh no, that we don't do that. That's for white people. Your girl is breaking the myths. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Breaking the myths, honey. Breaking all the stigma. Your girl is a Christian woman. Yes, I am. Wholeheartedly. That has some struggles with her mental health. After my big mama and my dad passed, people need to know some things are going to happen in your life that it's just not, you're not going to be the same after that. Things are going to be different. We're running around here trying to act like things are not different. Why are you doing that? Why are you out here pretending and you suffering? For what? Because somebody's going to talk about you. Because you worried about what somebody else is going to say. Oh, honey, I know. Because I was too. Right? I'm just telling you, you don't have to suffer in silence, honey. Whether it's my program or somebody else's, there's help out there. That's what we're here. That's what we're doing. To say there are people like you that look like me, young people. I'm 46, honey. Yeah, I'm still young. 46, just turned 46 last Sunday. I am still young. There are young people, vibrant. You still have a lot of life to live. Okay? Excuse me today. I got my Invisalign in. Y'all see him? I feel like I'm live, honey. Your girl is bringing the message regardless. Do you hear me? I'm bringing the message regardless. All right? I don't care what is going on, what mistakes. I'm saying that to say, do it anyway. It's not going to be perfect. Whatever dream, goal, whatever you have to do it anyway. In the darkness, it gives you some light. It gives you some purpose. That is why I'm up here every day walking, because why? My nephew passed away. Do you think I wanted to get up? The way that I handled depression before, sneaking around, having these panic attacks because I didn't want anybody to know I was embarrassed about it. At first, I didn't even know what was happening to me. And then when I found out, I was like, oh my God, I can't tell people all this. It's crazy. People going to think I'm crazy. I don't care about what nobody think. I don't care about what nobody say. People going to talk about you regardless. Whether you're doing something good or you're doing something bad. You can be doing something great. They were screaming Hosanna on Sunday. On Sunday, they were screaming Hosanna. And a few days later, the next week, they shouting, crucify him. The man, are you serious? People are going to talk about you. Things are going to happen. We need the tools and the education, honey. The inspiration and then the support to get up and to go. To know that we're not the only ones. You don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to walk the journey alone. That's it. Number 3, was there, your girl's passionate about that. 3, was there a time you stayed in a secure job rather than strike out into a new position that might have gained you more in the long run? What was the basis of your decision? I just told y'all I stayed in my last job for a whole year longer uh, than what I was supposed to. And by the time that I left, my mental health was so affected. I was having suicidal thoughts. I was miserable at work every day. But I thought in my mind it was going to get better. I was waiting for it to get better. I'm thinking it'll pass, but it only got worse. So I was suffering in silence. Again, then trying to prove to myself that, you can handle it, you can do it, or as if it's saying something about me that I'm in this jacked up situation with leadership that was acting as if they didn't know who I was. I've been working for you for 8 years. You don't know me yet? We do that. We're sitting up, we're trying to prove ourselves, and we're trying to do, baby, there are so many other things. You do not deserve to suffer. What did I do? I ended up leaving because my therapist was like, Michelle, you are such a positive person. She said, you can't make it in toxic environments. I said, yeah. She said, your light is too bright for all that toxicity. You don't have anything to prove. So I'm telling you, you don't have anything to prove, honey. Or you stand in a situation that you shouldn't be in. Go somewhere where you are valued and you want it. Right now, honey, the department that I'm in, I love it. We pray together over there. We pray for each other. It is genuine. The people, they recognize me for who I am. They're paying me what I feel like I deserve to be paid at this point in time in my life. I'm so much happier. It's not full time, but guess what, honey? It's way better than what I was dealing with in November. And guess what I've done? God has given me the time that I asked for to work on my programs, to do the things that I did. So you know what I did in January? Excuse me, I did in the fall. I did my 7-day in the fall. It's on Clubhouse. If you want to listen to it, I did a free version. It's on Clubhouse. It's a 7-day. Reflections, choosing me guilt-free. Find the house, honey. Clubhouse. You can do it on the internet. Find it. It's on there. Go to my link tree, my YouTube. Hit the Clubhouse knob. It's a little hand. It's on there. Find it. It's great. Reflections, choosing me seven guilt-free. I did it twice. Once in the fall, once in the winter. And then you know what I did? I launched my 12-week program. Yeah, in January the 8th. I had six or seven people, I think, remember, 6 or 7 people. Beautiful. You know what I'm doing? I'm tweaking different ideas. I got my podcast going. How can I do this better? I don't have a VA right now. So how can I do it without her? Honey, whatever it is, God has given you this vision. Everything that I have come to pass. I have my book that came out. I have my book that I was a part of last year. I was a part of a 5-person like a compilation. I have that. It was on sale. It's on Amazon. It's called what's it called? Oh, you are unstoppable. It's never too late. Honey, never too late for a divine intervention. That's the name of my chapter. I'm just saying, what do you have in you? Can you think outside the box? Number 4. If someone were to ask you advice on what the most important skills are for them to learn in their work and life, what would you tell them? I would say the most important skill for you to learn is communication. Because no matter what, I was interviewing a president of the hospital. His name is Shelley Stein of Mount Washington Pediatric Hospital. Shelley Stein. Sheldon Stein is his official name. Wonderful man. I was interviewing him one time, and he said, I asked him what was the most important thing that he's learned in all the years of being a president. He said it doesn't matter what department you work in. When you find that there's an issue, it always boils down to communication. Whether you're not communicating at all, you know those people you hold in everything, you don't even say nothing. But when it comes, even people in leadership, those people that don't communicate enough, right? You're saying something, but you don't say everything that you need to say, and then you're feeling some kind of way about it, or you're communicating, over communicating. Those are your cussers and your fussers. Right? Yeah, communication is the key because it'll take you no matter what. You need to communicate with your children. You need to be able to communicate with your spouse, your significant other, communicate it at your job, communicate with your coworkers. When something is wrong, you know what we would do? My coworkers and I, before the toxic coworker came down, we would, hey, something's going on. Yo, I'll pull you in the office in a minute. Hey, this is what we need to do. This affected me. This is how this made me feel. I got sister friends that work for this reason. Because I'm not going talking behind your back. I'm coming to you and I'm saying, hey, when you said this, don't do that to me. Don't disrespect me like that. Don't talk to me like that. I don't have to yell and cuss and fight. But I'm gonna tell you how I feel about it. Hey, if it's an issue, and I'm gonna tell you I'm open. If you have an issue with me, come talk to me about it. Let me know what's going on. I want to fix it. I love you. Just plain and simple. That is my advice for anybody, any situation. Communicate, honey. Learn how to communicate. Communicate with respect. Communicate how you would want to be communicated to. Reciprocate that, right? Number 5, what roles does giving play in your life? Do you see it as an important part of your success? Giving is everything. I'm a giver to the core of me. Everything that I do, everything that I am, I think I was born in this world. It's way embedded in me. It's a part of my purpose. But I come from a giving family, both sides. My mom is a giver, and so is my dad. My grandfather, it's in our DNA. It's embedded in there. And so for me, giving makes me happy. I told a story last night about a young lady. The Lord spoke to me and had me to give her some money. I didn't have the money to give her, but you know what? I was being obedient. And God blessed me. He always have. Even in my broke seasons, I've had multiple ones. I'm having one right now. But I eat every day. I have a roof over my head. My children are healthy and happy, right? I have this hedge of protection around my life. I pray for it every day for me and my children, my family. It's how you looking at that thing. You have to be grateful. I feel like in order to receive, you gotta give. While you got your hand out to take, what are you giving? It's very important. It's karma. It's the laws. It's all of that. It's a spiritual nature. You will be blessed. You're blessed in your giving, right? Number 6 is the last one. What are different ways you could give that you aren't currently? What are different ways that you can give that you aren't currently? Some people are like, I'm broke, honey. Even in my broke season, somebody needs some help. What can you do? What can you volunteer to do? What can you offer? You don't always have to, it does not always have to be money. Even in church, when I don't tithe, I'm tithing something. It may not be it may not be 10% of money. I may not have it. Sometimes I have and sometimes I haven't. But I have always been giving way more than 10%. What do? I mentor nursing students. I'm still reaching back and giving. Who can you influence? Who can you mentor? Who can you teach something to? Who can you lead and guide? Who can you go up at the school and volunteer? They need help with the dance. They need help at the school. Some elderly person on your block may need her grass cut. It's always something to do that don't cost you money. Who can you give a ride? My pastor said one time, he said everybody at the church always sees somebody on the bus stop. We just left the service and you riding past them on the bus stop. I said, wow, Pastor, you sure right. He said, you never know how long you gonna have your car. I said, you sure right. You know what I started doing? I started picking people up on the bus stop. I just saw you in service. I just seen them. They was in there. Yep. Oh, ma'am, I don't need any gas money. I have some gas. I'm good. I had this one girl tell me, she was like, you think you too good because you won't accept my gas money? I said, let me tell you something, honey. If I needed your gas money, then I would take it, but I don't need it. So I'm not going to take anything from you that I don't need. I'm giving you a ride because I don't know how long I'm going to have this car. And one day I might need a ride and I might not have any money, gas money to give to anybody. And I want that favor returned back to me. So don't block my blessing. I'm not giving something to you to get something from you. I'm giving it to you because I can give it. And it's a blessing to give. So she had to tone that thing down, right? You know what happened? I'm in nursing school. I'm in my last year of nursing school, y'all. You know what happened? Yeah, the girl car got repossessed. hmm My car got repossessed. I'm going to tell you what happened too. This is why your girl don't believe in coincidences. This is why I walk by faith. This is what it is. It is knowing that no matter what situation I'm in, God is going to work that thing out regardless. I don't care what it looks like, how dark it is. Even in my mind, when I was going through that foolishness at work back last year this time, in the thick of it, I'm knowing that this is going to work out. Something's got to give. Something's got to give, right? Knowing. So my car gets repossessed. You know what I did? I'm in nursing school. I had a I had a classmate out of all the schools in Baltimore, Maryland. Her daughter had some stuff going on and she had custody of her grandkids. Guess where the grandkids went? To my daughter's school. Out of all the schools in Baltimore, and it's a lot of schools. And my babies we all went to a Catholic school, St. James and St. John. Yeah, Catholic school. Her kids was in the same school. So you know what she did? She picked me up. Where does she live? Not far from my house. Of all the places all over Baltimore for her to live, where does she live? Around the corner from my house. Do you think that was coincidence? This is years after I was picking people up off the bus stop. I never caught the bus. I never caught the MTA. I never had to do anything. It was already provided. God had already worked that thing out. And she was so sweet. She happily came and picked me up. She happily gave us a ride. Happily. It wasn't like, oh my God, you gonna give me some money? You need this? No, her spirit was just like mine. Oh my God, you need some help? Oh yeah, I can help you. Oh sure, it's no problem. I'll come get you. Giving, honey. Giving and giving freely of yourself. So I love that chapter. I love it. Beautiful way to end our our way to end our financial journey. We've been on it for a while, honey, because for me, the finances is like the number one thing that causes people to, feel some kind of way about yourself. You do all this negative self-talk. It gets cloudy. You start feeling like I've told myself plenty of times, you should be this far by now. You should be doing this. You should be that. You should be that. You should be like, how many negative things can you say to yourself? We do that, right? Ain't nobody judging you. Ain't nobody saying these things. You're saying it to yourself. Like we're our worst critics. I call him the devil, honey. He be right here in your ear whispering all that negativity, just wanting you to eat it up. Pluck his ass off your shoulder. Get off my shoulder. Get him out your ear. Get him out your ear, boo, because it's not true. You are worthy of happiness. You are where you're supposed to be. You need to learn some new things or whatever you need to do. Do your part. Get yourself together. Figure out why you're making the decisions you're making. Figure out why you're allowing people to treat you like trash. And come back while you're on this side of heaven. Yeah, come back, start again, dust yourself off, try again, honey. Get your lay on. Yes, dust yourself off and try again. Because guess what? As long as you're on this side of heaven, you have time. Yeah, you have time. So that's it. Your girl gotta go. Your girl gotta go, honey. It is your girl, Michelle Franklin, Miss Michelle D.I., honey, Miss Divine Intervention herself. I'm telling you that there are no coincidences in this world. So if you are watching this broadcast, be it today, May 22nd, 2023, or 5-6 years from now, because, honey, it's on the YouTube channel, okay? Be it 5 or 6 years from now, whatever, I'm telling you today to be encouraged, honey, to not allow your situations to overcome you. To know that trouble don't last always. The storm is going to pass. Have a little faith, honey. Even if you've never had it or never acknowledged it before, God is still there. He still exists. He's still walking with you. Whether you acknowledge him or not, he's still there. He's right there. He's with you. That is your homeboy, honey. This is like your best friend. It is your homie lover friend. He is never leaving you. He's right there waiting for you. What's up? Giving you the head nod. I'm right here. I ain't left you. I'm still here. Yeah. So God is everything you need, honey. In the midst of your storms, in the midst of them, just have a little faith. In the darkness, keep walking, boo. Just keep walking. The light is coming. Yeah. And when you really, really think about it, you get real still and quiet. Yeah. Remember who you are in this world. And then take a minute and remember whose you are in this world. Whether you've done bad or not, because guess what, baby? There are no perfect people on this side of heaven. Nobody's worthy. Nobody. But God's grace, honey, is sufficient for us all. Yeah. That story about Jesus down on the cross, that blood that was shed, it was shed for you, whether you acknowledge it or not. Yeah, that's the beautiful part. Whether you acknowledge it or not. Isn't that amazing? That is amazing. It's available. You ain't got to be like, yo, I ain't never talked to my. Just start, honey. Just start. Yeah, no, you ain't got to be perfect. Just start, okay? Uh-huh. It's your girl, Michelle Franklin, Miss Michelle Dion, Miss Community Builder, honey. Giving you the steps that you need to get them finances together. Tomorrow, boo, we are going to be talking. We are shifting to relationships. And relationships can have you in a dark place, baby. We're going to have to come grab you. Somebody in that space. I'm going to have to come get you, boo. I'm coming for you tomorrow. Relationships. We're going to start tomorrow, honey. It's your girl. I believe, honey, that all this is to get you to purpose. Because I truly believe when you walk in your purpose, you inspire others to walk in theirs. Mm-hmm. So many people have inspired me. So this is just me doing my part to inspire somebody else. Honey, I aspire to inspire until I expire. Just like Mr. Les Brown. That wasn't mine. I know it was crafty, wasn't it? Yeah, that was Mr. Les Brown. I aspire to inspire until I expire, honey. That's what I'm doing. What you doing? What you doing, boo? Get yourself together. Bye.